If you weren't able to catch my video yesterday, it was a top 10 fragrances from Tom Ford for women. And as I mentioned in that video, I'm doing a male version today. And today, that's what I'm doing for you guys. And these are videos that you guys have been requesting for me to do. And that's what I've done for you today. So if you're interested in finding out about top 10 fragrances from the house of Tom Ford for men, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, today we're talking about Tom Ford fragrances. These are fragrances that are mostly unisex, and I feel like they lean masculine. There's definitely a few male-targeted releases from the signature collection from Tom Ford, but the majority of them are unisex offerings. So wear what you want when you want. But these are videos that you guys have requested me to do, specific brand videos for men and specific brand videos for the ladies as well. And yesterday I did the ladies version. If you haven't caught that video, please go catch it. And today, as I said, I've got the male version here. It's a top 10 list. We've got a couple of bonus options as well. And we're gonna go ahead and get started with the first fragrance, which I don't have on my hands here. It's at the house, sadly, when I was shooting this video. So it's EBENE FUME from Tom Ford. So this one is ranked at the bottom because it wasn't really one of my all-time favorites from Tom Ford, but I kind of do like it. It's a very woody and smoky fragrance featuring black pepper with incense. There's Palo Santo wood. There's some leather in here, ebony wood, papyrus, resins, labdanum, or labdanum, I should say, amber. So EBENE FUME, the smoky ebony wood is basically what they're after. I think they've captured it perfectly. It's just not really a wow fragrance for me. Sure, I think it has some fans. It's definitely very spicy, smoky, woody, and of course the ebony wood prominent here. But again, do I really crave this kind of a fragrance? But still, putting it here because I feel like it's definitely something that men can really enjoy and definitely leans on the masculine side. Again, yesterday I mentioned some floral notes go feminine for me and more woods and things like that. Leather types of notes, aromatics go masculine. So in this video, we're talking about fragrances that are perfect for men from Tom Ford. And we're starting off with the EBENE FUME at number 10. We're going to Grey Vetiver Parfum next. I feel like Grey Vetiver Parfum, does it become a very popular fragrance? Are you guys enjoying Grey Vetiver Parfum? Do you enjoy the original in the Eau de Parfum? This to me is the same fragrance, just amplified and made a bit screechy metallic as well. I feel like the bottle, all gray, all silver metallic, really matches the fragrance. Although the fragrance does lean a bit green for me, but it becomes very screechy metallic, very sharp. Features notes of orange flower with Vetiver Haiti. There's saffron in here as well. But very spicy, very green, earthy for sure. It's a fresh fragrance, but it's kind of a dense, fresh fragrance. And the idea of metallic definitely comes to mind here. If you're a fan of, Grey Vetiver or just Vetiver fragrances in general, you must get your nose on Grey Vetiver Parfum. I think it's a great fragrance. Just, again, not one of my uber favorite fragrances as of late. It's kind of leaning very woody. And I always mention in my videos, woody fragrances tend to get boring for me. I need some contrast in them to give it a little more excitement. And so I kind of rank them kind of on the, the bottom, kind of on the low side here because they just are not very exciting. But what we've got coming after are very exciting fragrances. And at number 8, it's Beau de Jour, this one right here. Beau de Jour is Tom Ford's Fougere, although 4 or 5 years ago, they launched so many Fougere fragrances. They had Fougere Platine, Fougere Ardente. They even had Lavender Extreme, I believe it was called. This was in the private blend, Beau de Jour, and then it turned into the signature line for men. It's a male-targeted release. It's lavenders. Typical Fougere fragrance features loads of lavenders, and here we've got a couple of different varieties of lavenders along with patchouli, rosemary, oakmoss, mint, basil, amber, and geranium. I think it's a great fragrance, really wonderful offering, definitely solid Fougere barbershop-y fragrance. This is the Tom Ford style, very on the lavender, like because they have a couple of different types of lavender here, you can really definitely smell the lavender. It's kind of more in the line of something like Fougere Royale from the house of Houbigant or Bracken Man from the house of Amouage, which sadly Bracken Man is discontinued, but we still have Beau de Jour here. It's a solid release for men from the house of Tom Ford. That is Beau de Jour. Moving on to number 7 with Oud Wood, this one right here. So Oud Wood is a really great oudy woody fragrance, and it's a unisex offering. Again, private blend fragrances are all unisex for me. This is a very woody fragrance, so it does lean masculine. Again, it's a woody fragrance, but this one has some contrast, which I like. That's why it's ranked higher compared to the other two that I spoke about. I like this one. It's definitely a very wearable, signature style fragrance, focusing on oud with rosewood, sandalwood, cardamom, vanilla, Sichuan pepper. I like that whole contrast with the oud, the rosewood, and the cardamom note. The cardamom note really adds some great fresh spiciness here. This is not a very warm fragrance. It's very fresh compared to something that's very warm and ambery, but it does have some warmth under there, but loads of spices as well. In addition to the cardamom, there's that kind of lemony Sichuan pepper, peppery, black peppery, lemony at the same time. Really great fragrance. Still ranked on the lower side because it is, after all, oud wood, but definitely I think it's better than something like Grey Vetiver Parfum or the Ebene Fume. But moving on to number 6 with Costa Azzurra Parfum, this one right here. Really love the Costa Azzurra Parfum. Really enjoy it. And I've put this here in the male list. It's a very unisex offering, kind of leaning on the male side for me. But I could have put this in the female list as well. And for me, this version is really great. The Eau de Parfum is okay. The Aqua was really great. I enjoyed that one a lot. I wore so much of it. But the Parfum takes it to another level. Really great level here. There's definitely marine touches here, but I feel like it's kind of covered up with whatever notes they have in here. The Cypress note is definitely amplified, and it's been, featured in all variations of this fragrance. So it's Cypress with oud. There's lemons here, vetiver, oakwood, sea air, and myrtle. Love myrtle in fragrances, and it's pretty prominent here. Not as prominent as the Cypress and the lemons and the oud, but really a great scent. I feel like it's marine in that it's not necessarily uber marine, but it's in the background. You can experience it. I feel like the Eau de Parfum and the Aqua are a bit more marine, but in this series of fragrances, we're not really swimming in the sea. We're kind of just breathing the sea air, and it's kind of like further away, so you don't have a lot of sea notes, if that makes sense. That's why I really like this as a great marine style fragrance, and the Parfum concentration is really super delicious. So Costa Azzurra Parfum is at number 6 here. And of course, we have to feature this here, and this is at number 5. This is Ombre Leather. I did feature this in the ladies list yesterday, but as a bonus option, but here it's in the male video in the regular list, because I feel like it's definitely a masculine leaning fragrance focusing on leather. This is not Tuscan leather, but it is Ombre Leather. Ombre Leather was in a private blend release, a limited release for private blend that it was shelved in and then brought back in signature collection. And I feel like it's a great designer leather fragrance, one of the best. And Tom Ford fragrances are really great fragrances, but sadly they're overpriced for what you get. Really overpriced, sadly. But they do have some of the greatest smells, I feel like, and this one definitely leans into the masculine side. This is a leather fragrance with cardamom, jasmine sambac, black leather, patchouli, white moss, and amber. But the combination is really intoxicating, really delicious, very sexy, and it's a very popular fragrance for Tom Ford and for, people that are fans of leather fragrances. So this is Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. For the male list, it is at number 5. And then at number 4, another male targeted release. I've got more male targeted releases here. Well, I shouldn't say Ombre Leather is a male targeted release, because Costa Azzurra Parfum and Ombre Leather, the Eau de Parfum, are unisex targeted. But this fragrance specifically is a male targeted release. This is Noir Extreme Parfum, this one right here. And it is such a great take on the original. Really intensified, in your face, really beautifully creamy, sandalwoody, but the Venezuelan tonka beans in here are deliciously nutty, with amber here, cedar, gaiac wood, cardamom, and kahili ginger. I really love the ginger and the cardamom in here. These two notes are kind of friends, They're spices. They smell different, but they blend beautifully together. And this is a really beautiful blending job with Sonia Constant, I believe, created this fragrance. She did a great job creating the Parfum version. Whereas I didn't care for the Parfum version for Ombre Leather, I really love the Parfum version for Noir Extreme Parfum, and I really love the Parfum version for the Costa Azzurra Parfum. So it's different. certain fragrances smell better as parfums than others, and I think Noir Extreme Parfum has done a really, really great job, or the perfumer has done a great job for us, and absolutely love the way it smells. So if you haven't tried this one yet, please do try it. It's ranked pretty high for me because I absolutely love it. So it's Noir Extreme Parfum from the house of Tom Ford, and I am featuring this one. It's in both lists. It's a very, very unisex fragrance, but still kind of a masculine, feminine take on rose. It's a gothic kind of a rose chypre fragrance. It's noir de noir. It's ranked at #1 in the ladies list if you didn't watch that video yet, but it's ranked here at #3. Oh man, this is so good. It's rose with patchouli, truffles, the stuff that grows underground, with vanilla, oud, saffron, oak moss, floral notes. If you're into chypre fragrances, if you're into dark rose fragrances, oak mossy, patchouli, sexy fragrances, this is noir de noir. You definitely got to get your nose on it. I first bought my bottle around 2014 and I've been a fan since then. I think it's gotten kind of diluted, but really love this one. I used to wear so much of it and really used to get lots of compliments with this one. So it's Noir de Noir from Tom Ford at #3 here for the top 10 list of Tom Ford fragrances for men. #2 is Tobacco Vanille. As I mentioned yesterday, Vanille Fatale was in the feminine list. Tobacco Vanille is in the masculine list. I have added this one here. It's a vanilla fragrance once again, but it's very meshed with ashy tobacco here. So you've got the sweet, ambery vanilla and that dirty, smoky, ashy tobacco in here. Makes for a wonderfully intoxicating fragrance. It's one of my favorite vanilla fragrances and also one of my favorite tobacco fragrances. I would call this more of a tobacco fragrance instead of a vanilla fragrance because the tobacco is more king here than the vanilla, but it's fantastic. Love the way this smells. It's vanilla with tobacco leaf, tobacco flower, cocoa, ginger, dried fruits, spices. Super delicious, guys. It is my holiday fragrance. I love wearing this during Thanksgiving holiday, and I feel like it's a great fragrance for men here from the house of Tom Ford from the Private Blend collection. So it's Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford, and that is at #2. And then finally at #1, this is still available. Get yourself a bottle. I don't know how long this will be available. It's still available at the discounters as well. I believe it sells in Europe and the UK because I believe it's more of a market there than here. I think people don't like it as much, but to me, this is my favorite Tom Ford. It's Tobacco Oud. 2 tobacco fragrances back to back, 2 so different tobacco fragrances. This one is dirty. This is very dirty and on the animalic side and also a bit boozy, and it smells like a place where men go to smoke cigars and drink whiskey kind of a thing. So it's tobacco with oud, spices, whiskey, sandalwood, cinnamon, coriander, and patchouli. One of the best Tom Ford creations ever. Hands down, one of the best. I absolutely love this one. I love tobacco fragrances, but this is nothing like Tobacco Vanille. Nothing like other tobacco fragrances. This is more on the savory side, lightly sweet, very spicy, also very ashy, and then of course boozy as well. It smells great. When you wear this one, you also get cumin. It pops through, and I think this is what turns people off. But hey, when you're at this place drinking, whiskey and smoking cigars, maybe there's a little sweat there as well. Somebody's got to be sweating, and it's captured here in this fragrance. But either way, Tobacco Oud. Wonderful offering from Tom Ford. I feel like it's a great masculine offering, perfect for men. Top 10 list here at #1. It's Tobacco Oud from Tom Ford. So what are your thoughts on these top 10 fragrances from Tom Ford and what's missing from the list? I know there's a ton of fragrances from Tom Ford. Do let me know what you think are perfect for men from Tom Ford, from the house of Tom Ford. Put a comment down below so I can find out. And as I said, if you haven't caught the feminine list from yesterday, it's linked in the info box. Go catch that, please. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. And for a couple of bonus options, we've got Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather. This is a very masculine leather fragrance, very popular, but I feel like it's kind of slipped with its popularity a bit because we do have ombre leather. To me, they smell kind of similar, not identical, but it's that similar idea of leather, Tom Ford style, and a great release. I feel like this, along with Oud Wood, Noir de Noir, Tobacco Vanille, were the original big bad fragrances from the Tom Ford Private Blend collection. It has slipped, I feel like, but still great honorable mention here as a bonus option. It's leather with black suede, amber. There's woods, frankincense, jasmine, raspberry, saffron, and thyme. Really, really great fragrance. It does smell a bit industrial. It's really hard, really kind of very masculine offering, I feel like, and that's why I feel like it fits here in this list perfectly, but it is on the bonus option here. But either way, Tuscan leather, if you're a fan of this one, do let me know. It's still a great fragrance, but like I said, everybody does ombre leather now. And then as another bonus option, we're talking about Tom Ford's Bois Marocain, this one right here. Anybody know this one? So Bois Marocain has come back. It used to be discontinued or shelved or put away for the consumers, but they brought it back. I should say vaulted is what I should have said. And now it's back, and I feel like it's a great, bonus option here. It's very woody once again, but a very interesting woody fragrance. It's got thuya wood, which is kind of like a cedar wood. In addition to that, there's cedar wood as well, pink peppercorn with this fragrance as well. Very, very spicy woody. There's no freshness here. There's no sweetness here. It's all woods. That's why I've put it here as a bonus option. But there's a little bit of like a varnish polish like smell with this, and the idea of an old library. Perhaps you're in this old library or an old church, and some of the furniture has been redone, revarnished, repainted or something. And there's the idea of all these woods and kind of a varnishy kind of a smell with spices and this kind of like an old musty library / church kind of a smell. Very interesting fragrance. I like it. I like the smell of it. I don't wear it mostly just because I like the way the fragrance smells. There's something about it that takes me back, kind of like a scent memory. I don't know where the scent memory is, but I like that about that fragrance. But either way, as a bonus option, we've got Tom Ford's Bois Marocain. Let me know if you're a fan of this one and what your thoughts are about it. And that's pretty much it for the video today. Stay tuned for another video tomorrow. Have a good one. Goodbye.